Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight on 207. I'm Samantha York.
And I'm Rob Caldwell. Coming up on this Thursday, the December issue of Down East Magazine is out with the winning pictures from its 11th annual Reader Photo Contest. We'll give you a look at some of the compelling images in just a few minutes.
And Portland Press Herald's music writer Aimsel Ponti joins us to preview upcoming concerts around Maine, including Model Airplane's annual Thanksgiving show. But first tonight, there are a lot of documentary filmmakers out there looking for good ideas, but it's not surprising that a husband and wife team from Maine had a topic all to themselves when they decided to make a documentary about Portland's wastewater treatment plant. What goes down the toilet in Portland ends up at that plant.
The documentary that Alex Wolf-Lewis and Caitlin Swalje made is called Unless Something Goes Terribly Wrong. Where did they get the idea for this film? Well, that's a story all by itself with an unusually romantic twist.
When we were living in New York, we tried to get into a Valentine's Day wastewater tour, and it sold out every year. We could never get in. Fast forward, we moved to Maine. First thing I do for her birthday, I'm going to take you on a tour of the Westbrook wastewater treatment plant. That's where we met Dustin, and that's where we instantly were like, something magical is happening here, and we'd love to make a film.
Dustin is Dustin Price, now the chief operator of the East End treatment plant in Portland.
Positivity.
Positive. I just want to make sure.
Lion face. Lemon face.
The film needed an interesting person at the center of the story. Dustin filled that need.
Every single drop of the worst product known to man comes to this plant. It is horrible. And what we make out of it is clean water.
The more time the filmmakers spent around treatment plant workers, the more they liked and admired them, and the more they wanted to share their story with the world.
I don't know anyone who, as a kid, grew up and was like, I'm going to work in wastewater. Like, I don't think it's necessarily a career you aspire to.
One of the movie's aims was simply to recognize the employees who do the dirty, thankless work of keeping an aging plant running.
I think Caitlin and I as filmmakers, we're kind of tired of these environmental films that make you feel bad. You're like, you should care. You know, here's a sad whale that's dying. I mean, you should care about the whale. But if you kind of take a little bit of a different approach and you say, let me make you care about these guys. Let me show you what their life is like. I think you end up maybe caring more.
We've been up against it for years now. I think this is my 6th year, and I've had 6 months of fully working equipment.
So I think in taking the human approach, the humorous approach, we're kind of staying away from what you might expect in a documentary.
This is an interesting topic because it's about something that is crucial to our everyday lives, but that 99.9999% of us never think about.
Yeah, the films, you know, what happens after you flush. And I think the whole point of why no one knows about them is because most people don't want to think about what happens after the flush. So you got to figure out a way to tell that brings people in, and that kind of comes back to the human side. You know, see what the guys go through, see what it takes to actually run a wastewater plant.
You're working in a visual medium. Mm-hmm. This is not, say, a podcast. Mm-hmm. So you've got to show a lot of poop. Did you have some misgivings when you started filming, saying, how can we make this into a film that people will want to sit and watch and not get up and leave in the middle of?
Yeah, I think you got to ride that line. There's definitely the yuck, the taboo factor. Nobody really wants to think or talk about poop. So, you know, you give hints of it, and there were times in the edit where we're like, I think we went a little too far. Maybe we pull back. But again, there's just so much happening at a wastewater treatment plant.
This treatment plant was one of hundreds built after the passage of the hugely important federal Clean Water Act, whose architect was Maine Senator Ed Muskie. Until that became law, Portland, like countless other communities across the U.S., disposed of raw sewage by dumping it into the ocean. In this case, at East End Beach. In the film, people who grew up in the neighborhood recall what the water was like back then. Hey, brother, how you doing?
Before there was the treatment plant, it was a big pipe that went directly into the water. The sewer outflow. Lifeguards wouldn't let us swim there, but we always wanted to because it was warm.
The kids had a name for the floating pieces of poop they'd come across in the water.
Harbor trout.
And we all learned to swim the breaststroke
Yes.
so we could push them all away.
The basic plant, the basic equipment hasn't changed that much. It's decades old now, and this is part of the story, is the strain that the operators are under to keep this plant running with this obsolete, outdated equipment.
The guys are incredible. It's like open heart surgery. It's like the flow never stops. People in Portland don't stop peeing, don't stop pooping. These pumps have been working nonstop, some of them for like 50 years. When things break down, because of that, knowing that you can't stop, I think the guys, you know, it's a very stressful job actually.
Getting the film made was a project. After 2 years of shooting, it is finally out in the world. What is this whole experience starting to feel like for you?
Every time you make a film, it feels like a miracle that you get to the end of it. Just there's so many ways it could have not happened.
And then having people like it.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't always happen.
Doesn't always happen. So we're super grateful. Yeah.
I think the word for the day is harbor trout.
No. Gosh, it's so good. And I'm sorry, when I think of Valentine's Day, I don't necessarily think of a wastewater treatment plant, but hey, look what it turned into.
I was going to say, if it hadn't been for that desire to spend Valentine's Day in that way, they never would have made this movie.
So good.
And as we said, people are liking it, unless something goes terribly wrong. Had its world premiere at the Camden International Film Festival here in Maine earlier this year, where it received the Audience Award. It also played at the New Hampshire Film Festival, where it won the Audience Choice Award.
Still to come on 207, winter's coming and there's no better time to head to a sauna. And it turns out there are more places where you can find one than ever before in Maine. That story when we come back.
Hard to believe, but 2025 is coming to an end, and we've got the proof. The December issue of Down East magazine is now out. Here to talk about some of what's in it is Editor-in-Chief Will Grunwald. Does this freak you out a little bit that we're talking about the last issue of the year?
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't feel like 2025 even happened.
I don't know. Something weird happened this year and it just raced by. But let's talk about what you have for your readers in this final issue. We're going to start with a profile of an illustrator named Jada Fitch, who lives in Addison. I had not been familiar with her work, but I think it's really cool.
Yeah, she does. She's a very talented illustrator. She's actually done some work for the magazine in the past, some really great stuff, and now she has a project all of her own out. It's a book called The Forest Revealed, and it's inspired by her time in the woods around her home and the journals she kind of recorded what she saw.
Yeah, she does plants and animals and does them in a really lovely way.
Yeah, it's and the book itself is sort of like you know, one part coffee table book, one part field guide. There are naturalist notes throughout it. It's I think it's a pretty handy resource and a beautiful thing to look at, and you know, especially this time of year, probably something that's like fairly giftable.
Well said. Another article in this issue takes a look at saunas in Maine. Saunas have been around for a long time. People have had them, but they haven't really been available to the public as places that one can visit until the last few years, where there's been sort of this mini explosion of saunas.
Yeah, right, and that's been happening, I mean, very visibly throughout Maine, I think, both fixed location traditional saunas and these mobile ones that are rolling around all over the place. And you know, it's a trend that's kind of played out across the country, but Maine has sort of a unique position, I think, in relation to saunas.
Well, saunas work well in a cold climate, so that helps us better than it would be in, say, Florida or Alabama.
Right, there's a reason that like this tradition started in like the Nordic and Scandinavian countries, right? We have the right climate for it, and we also have kind of a longer history with it than most people because of the wave of Finnish immigrants who came to Maine in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And brought saunas with them.
And I had no idea, this is one of the facts from the article, more than a dozen places that one can go to have opened in Maine if you want to go check out a sauna. So there's good information here. Let's end with the 11th annual Reader Photo Contest that the magazine puts on. A number of winners. We haven't taken any of the first place winners, but we're going to give people just a little sense of what you've got. We begin with a photo that won that came in as runner-up in the landscape category, although it's actually a seascape, a beautiful shot by Norris Thompson taken in Port Clyde.
Yeah, that's right. It's really sort of moody, dramatic, gorgeous scene. I think of like if Ansel Adams, who did do a little work in Maine, but not a lot, this is like the kind of shot he would have been after, I think.
Absolutely. The play of light and shadow and the natural elements, just a photo that you're going to want to look at for a long time.
Definitely.
Another photo, this one was in the Reader's Choice category, won the Reader's Choice Award. Steve St. Lawrence took it in Falmouth, a really unusual photo of egrets.
Yeah, he caught this amazing moment when two egrets were apparently fighting over a mate, and their wings are fully out, feathers are kind of flying, and so it's just a great shot. And on top of that, I love the fact that I think it was taken in one of those marshes you see as you like cruise down 295 through Falmouth. So it's sort of a reminder just that like in Maine you don't really have to go hunting for amazing things happening there, and you just have to keep your eyes open.
Just be attentive, because I think he was actually driving when he saw some activity,
Yeah.
jumped out and got that shot, which is great. Let's end with another one that's a runner-up. This is in the lifestyle category. I hope I get his name right. Brett Schneider,
Yep.
with a photo of, this is such a classic Maine look, a man and his rowboat in Sorrento.
Classic is definitely the right word for it. There's not much in that photograph to suggest that it wasn't taken in like 1920, right? Except for maybe fiberglass hulls on some of those boats. It's just got an absolute timelessness to it, and it's beautiful to look at.
All right, that and more, all in the December issue. Will Grunwald from Down East, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Rob.
Stick around. Back with more of 207 right after this.
Is it just me, or does it seem like Maine's live music scene just never slows down? There are a lot of shows to check out this month, and here with a snapshot is Portland Press-Herald music writer Aimsel Ponti. Always good to see you.
Good day to you, my friend.
Hello, hello. All right, quite a few shows to check out. What do you want to start with?
There's a Saturday night crisis for all involved, so I want to be in three places. We'll start with the State Theater. So this is Saturday night. The Crane Wives. They've been around for a while. And now I've become, in short order, a super fan. They're out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. They are an indie rock band, two singers, or actually at times there are three people singing. Absolutely phenomenal. I was listening to them last night in my living room thinking, wow, like I can't believe I can't go to the show, but I hope people consider it, and just trust me.
Yeah.
If you don't know who the Crane Wives are, just do your thing and rock out, because they are solid, but I will just be right down the street.
Are you going to the State Theater? Are you going to Whale and Jenny's?
I am going to the Whale and Jenny's. So Crane Wives are at the State Theater, and down the street at Merrill Auditorium, the Whale and Jenny's, out of nowhere.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
because
mixed it up for you.
They haven't put. We're all good. People know what we're
Thank
talking
you.
about. We're throwing down here. They're so good. They haven't put a record out since 2017, but they've been all doing their things. Ruth Moody, Nikki Mehta, and Heather Massey, Canadian folk trio, phenomenal. They have a bunch of records, and they are doing a benefit show for a really cool nonprofit. And this is Saturday night at Merrill Auditorium.
You deserve the deepest of cuts. You belong in that hole by and by.
I saw them I think the last time they came was circa 2017, 2018 at the State Theater.
Yeah.
And I just haven't really thought of them lately, but here they are, and I'm very excited. I hope there's a good crowd for that.
All right, so you're going to be there. I want to be in Sanford.
Well, I also want to be in Sanford, because I'm also freaking out over that. Blank Space, the Taylor Swift Experience, 7 p.m. Saturday at the Sanford Performing Arts Center. And, Taylor is not on tour at the moment.
No, not right now.
But Swifties, you can hear her songs. This Los Angeles-based tribute act, fronted by singer Olivia Mojica, I think I'm saying that at least approximately correctly, is phenomenal. The band is phenomenal. They've got dancers.
I'm just gonna shake, 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 shake. Shake it off, shake it off.
Cardigans are optional.
Oh, I love that.
You might be hot dancing in a cardigan, but you do you. I just think this is so cool.
Just wear something bedazzled.
Just
underneath,
bedazzle yourself. Get a bedazzler. I'm sure you can find one on eBay.
I wonder if they'll do Life of a Showgirl, just because it's new stuff. But anyway.
I imagine they're going to do the entire catalog.
I've
seen YouTube clips, and I was like, are you kidding me?
So good. I love it. Okay, and so the following Wednesday?
Yes, the night before Thanksgiving.
It's right around the corner.
Rigometrics. I know you guys hate when I pound my chest because I always
okay.
mess up with my microphone, but I get excited. Rock trio, Derek Joseph and singer Keenan Hendricks are just phenomenal, and they've actually just signed to a new management company. I'm very excited for them. I think
cool.
2026 could be a breakout year for Portland rock trio Rigometrics. And P.S. huge bonus. My favorite beloved feminist punk trio, Bait Bag, are opening the show at the Strand, so yay.
There you go. Lots of fun stuff. Okay, and then after you've had your fill of your Thanksgiving feast, that's Saturday night at Aura. What do we got going on?
Oh my goodness, this happens every year, always phenomenal. It's the Model Airplane Funksgiving show.
Lyle.
So Model Airplane is basically a supergroup with lead singer Lyle Davinsky. But that's not all. So his all-star band, Gina Alibrio and her band, the Red Eye Flight Crew, will be there. And hello, Kenya Hall. Like, this is like three of the best singers in the entire state of Maine are all going to be on the same stage Saturday night, the 29th, at Aura. I can't even deal with it. Can't even deal with it.
So many good
and
shows.
And as always, there's so many other shows happening all over the place. Novel, that bookshop on Congress Street in Portland, I just found out they're doing some live stuff.
Oh, cool.
There's stuff everywhere. So go see some. Take your pick. And I'll be back in a couple weeks because December is crazy.
I know, the holidays are here.
Oh my goodness.
There's so much going on.
And every Thanksgiving, I'm thankful that I don't have to wear the pilgrim outfit that my Aunt Julie gave me when I was about 10, that there are still photos that I get tormented over. So that's my way of saying happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
I love that. And I can't wait to see those photos someday. It's a great time.
Is, or otherwise known as never.
Aimsel Ponti here.
Take
Always
care.
good to see you. If you want to learn more about these shows, just head to the 207 section of our website and app, and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Coming up tomorrow on 207, Maine's beer industry has exploded over the last 2 decades, and Rob Todd has been the face of it for longer than that.
The company recently opened its first location away from the brewery. It's in Scarborough. David Guilford sat down with the founder of Allagash in his new building to reflect on how the industry has evolved over 30 years and the remarkable camaraderie among brewers in such a competitive market.
The better everyone's doing, the better we're going to do, the better the startup breweries are going to be doing. So it's very supportive, and it always has been. And we're going to try to perpetuate that spirit as long as we can.
The Allagash Bungalow, as it's called, opened this past summer at the Old Scarborough Downs. We'll hear more about the space in Maine's beer industry tomorrow on 207. And if you ever miss any of our stories, or if you want to share them with someone you think would enjoy them, remember you and your friends can catch all of our episodes on our new Center Maine Plus app.
You can download it for free and stream on your TV, available on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Before we go, we have music from Denny Bro.
Here he is playing Pockets Rag. Have a good night.